What's happening, my film nerds? David the Film Junkie here with a little Batman video that has to do with, of course, the Batman movies, and in particular, a Batman movie that never was. It almost came to be. Well, I mean, there's been many Batman movies that almost came to be, but one in particular. I actually talked about before, too, on a video a while back, talking about a third Tim Burton Batman movie and who was all in it. Pretty much the same people that ended up being in Batman Forever, but of course it was a whole different cast, and Keaton was returning, and Burton was returning, and then it just all went to shit because Warner Brothers and everybody were like, we can't sell toys. Look at the Penguin. He's fucking awful. So ridiculous. I think McDonald's even saying that when they had the Happy Meal toys for Batman Returns. Like, how the fuck are we supposed to make this guy even likable? He's gross. He's disgusting. But, we loved it. I mean, Danny DeVito was a great Penguin. Movie was very Tim Burton, yes. It was pretty dark and, just very Tim Burton. But still was a good Batman flick. So then they decided to go with Joel Schumacher to lighten up the mood a little bit. But yes, just like there was almost a Tim Burton third Batman film, there was almost a Joel Schumacher third Batman film. And thank God, right, after Batman and Robin. The only thing is, though, it seems like the synopsis and which villains were going to be in this movie, it seemed like Schumacher was going, okay, I continued the Batman franchise, started making it a little brighter, because Batman Forever wasn't entirely terrible, but then come to Batman and Robin, it's just like, what the fuck were they thinking? And it seems like he mainly did it just to satisfy Warner Brothers and anybody else involved, the higher-ups. But it looks like when it came to, the running title, of course, was Batman Triumphant or even Batman Unchained. That's another working title for it. It seemed like he was going to take just a total dark approach, and he was actually probably going to blow our minds if he did it right. Now, this is according to The Hollywood Reporter that is bringing out this information, and this information's been out for a while. I remember being the young little lad, the young little film junkie that I guess I was gonna grow up to be, because I remember looking this shit up. I remember looking at websites on my dial-up connection. I don't know how old I was. It was probably back in 98, 99, and I was looking this shit up. I was reading fake scripts, and I was seeing rumored people to play Batman, like Kurt Russell, I heard, was rumored to play Batman. Scarecrow is supposedly going to be played by Steve Buscemi, but apparently there's been all sorts of actors that were attached to this as well, because, yes, in fact, the Scarecrow was going to be the main villain in Batman Triumphant, and also they were going to have Harley Quinn, okay? Now, there was also rumors, too, that Jack Nicholson was going to make a cameo in some kind of nightmarish dream sequence that the Scarecrow, of course, put on bats, and it brought back the memory of Joker, which would have been fucking awesome to see. But this is what they're saying right here. This is the little synopsis that a Hollywood Reporter says. It says, it's two villains, each had a hatred at a different aspect of Batman. The brilliant and satanic Professor Jonathan Crane, a.k.a. the Scarecrow, had a personal vendetta against Bruce Wayne, while Harley Quinn despised Bruce's alter ego. Harley, who is described as a toy maker and who was very sadistic and mischievous, but she had a fun sense to her, learns that her true father was the Joker. This sets her on a path of vengeance against Batman for taking him away in the 1989 film. Eventually, Crane learns Batman's secret identity and teams up with Harley to drive him insane and have him sent to Arkham Asylum. So yes, Batman was going to get admitted to Arkham Asylum and just have fucked up nightmares that actually included cameos from, they wanted Michelle Pfeiffer to come back as Catwoman. They wanted Danny DeVito to come back as Penguin. They wanted Tommy Lee Jones back as Two-Face and Jim Carrey back as the Riddler in like a crazy fucking dream sequence that would end with Jack Nicholson coming back as a Joker. I mean, if that were to be done right, that would have been pretty awesome. The only thing that wouldn't have been awesome is that George Clooney would have been back as Batman, and let's face facts, he's probably the worst Batman. But I remember too hearing that Kurt Russell was being looked at, because I mean George Clooney hated that role like with the heartbeat. I remember in early interviews, like reading the actual physical magazine of Entertainment Weekly, and him stating that he just the suit was awful, and like if he does another movie, he's going to be wearing a thong. I remember that quote reading from George Clooney a long time ago like that. And apparently, too, not only was Steve Buscemi being looked at to play the Scarecrow, but also Nicolas Cage. Like, Schumacher literally went to a set, I forgot what, I think it was a set of Face Off, they said, and he walked up to Nicolas Cage and said, "Do you want to play Scarecrow?" Like, what? That, huh? Oh, man. And then guess who was actually going to play Harley Quinn, who was approached to play Harley Quinn? Miss Courtney Love. Yeah. She could have pulled it off. I mean, she wasn't entirely bad. She was still probably fucked up on drugs by then, and so it probably would have worked. But yeah, that just shows you right there that, yeah, Batman Triumphant was almost came to be, but then they finally scrapped it and said, no, we're not going to do it. And then there was even a pitch for a Batman Beyond movie that was going to be that this one guy, Boaz Yakin, I don't know if that's how you say his name, who actually wrote the movie and pitched it. And he said it was going to have a very cyberpunk vibe to it. That would have been interesting to see, a futuristic Batman. And who knows if they'll ever actually do that. It'd be interesting. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about, guys. Just because I remember reading about Batman Triumphant a long time ago, and then all of a sudden just hearing about it again. So let me know what you think about all that down below in the balls area. Let me know your thoughts about it. Also, hit that like, thumbs up button if you'd be so kind. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to my other channel too. Visit filmjunkie.com for all my videos, and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. All right, guys, I will talk to you later.